Let me not introduce her. Let me save the introduction so that she can, introduce herself to you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and invite our speaker on now. Hi, Franklina. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. Add her in. Hi, Franklina. Hi, Ruben's teacher. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, hi, Christelle.
Hi, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you
Wonderful,
guys? How are
wonderful.
you?
Okay, guys, I think the comments are a bit delayed
Oh, okay,
for some
sorry.
reason. No, it's fine. So, guys, just comment how you're doing and stuff like that. So wonderful to have you with us, Christelle. I mean, coming all the way from France, we're really, really, really so honored to have you on our platform. Sharing positivity with us and sharing gems.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah,
an honor to be here with you guys,
yeah,
We have a lot of things to talk about today, so I can't
yeah,
wait. I'm thrilled.
yes.
I'm thrilled to be with you guys.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much. So, how are you doing? How are you coping during this time? I mean, you're in a completely different country to us that's in the UK. I'm sure it'll be really interesting to hear from everyone that's online. How is it going in France? Like, like what is it like?
Hmm. So I'm being fine, I think it's been the fourth week of lockdown now.
Okay.
So I have 4 kids, so I'm here locked down in Paris with
Okay.
my 4 boys. I have only boys,
Wow.
and my husband. And at the beginning, it was really hard for me because dealing with 4 kids, I have
I
twins,
can
and then I
imagine.
have a little 11-month-old baby.
Wow.
So just
So
keeping with
baby.
everything. Yeah, it's a baby, and I had also to do homeschooling, and I have also a full-time job, and I have all these activities that I'm doing with the
Yeah.
NGO that I'm actually leading as well,
Yeah.
and everything that I'm doing online, and all this other stuff because I'm an entrepreneur as well. I'm a
Yeah.
writer.
Yeah.
So I was really, really, really busy. But the great thing is that I've seen in a short amount of time that my kids have grown up. We
Wow.
kind of tell them, okay, listen, here you have to help because if not, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
So, we are teaching them, how to help at home,
Yeah.
telling them, to do their homework, and they don't have to wait for us. They have to be autonomous. So everything that we
Yeah.
can to help them be autonomous, that
Yeah.
helps us. And
Yeah.
then we also told them that they have to look after their little brothers as well. So that help us actually work from home because
Yeah.
both my husband and I are working. So
Yeah.
so I think now it's getting good. It's
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
good.
Okay, great. We didn't do the introduction bit, so yeah.
Okay, that's a
So
very good
do you
point. Let
mind just
me.
for those
Yeah.
that don't know you, obviously I kind of just went straight into it. So for those that
Okay.
don't know you, can you just tell us a bit about yourself and what you do and stuff?
That's a very good point. I forgot to introduce myself. That's not good. Okay, let me start from the beginning. So I'm
Yeah.
Christelle Jackson. I was born and raised in Africa, in Cameroon.
Okay.
So I think at the age of 16, I left Cameroon and I came to France. I went to a boarding school here. After that, I went to university. I was doing pharmaceutical studies, but I didn't really like it.
Mhm.
I did it, but I felt, it wasn't for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and then I dropped out, after 2 years of pharmaceutical studies, I dropped out. And then I went to a business school. And this is really where I found myself. I was like, this is
Okay.
more like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I studied marketing. I studied finance. Actually, have a bachelor degree in finance. So I
Wow.
spent 3 years in that business school. It was a French and an American business school. And, at first when I went there, I didn't know how to speak any word of English. I was completely lost.
Well, you
And then
wouldn't be able
this,
to tell now.
yeah. And then they said to me that I have to go to the US and just learn English. So I went to the US in California, San Diego. I did a work and travel program and I worked for Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah.
It was SeaWorld, attraction park and stuff. So I spent 3 months there and then I came back. And then after that, I went back because I really loved the US. And I said, this is where I want to finish my study. I want to work there. So after that, I went back to the US, but this time in New York. So I did my bachelor degree there at Pace University in New York. And then after graduation, I got hired by a consulting firm named Bearing Point, formerly KPMG Consulting. I spent 3 years there traveling around the world, going to Argentina, Ireland, Chennai in India, traveling around the world for all my clients. And then after that, I decided that, I wanted to do something more challenging because I wasn't challenged enough. So I quit. And then I went to Ernst & Young. For those of you that know Ernst & Young, I was doing advisory consulting over there. And then after that, I met my husband, and this is where it started. And then he said, you know what, we have to go back to France. And I was like, well, I like the US, I like New York. But then, we got married, and then after that, we couldn't do the back and forth and then the long distance relationship. So at some point, I had to move back to France, and this is where I am today. I'm working for another firm that is quoted in the NASDAQ American. It's a French company. I don't know if you guys know Criteo. It's a French company that actually deals with all the little ads that you see whenever you go on a website, and then you go to another website, you see that. Okay, this is the company that actually makes that. So I'm working for that company. I'm a communication and change management leader in that company. At the same time, I'm a motivational speaker. This is something that I do besides, the work that I'm doing. I'm a motivational speaker. I've spoken to many conferences. I'm also a writer because this is something that I really like. Whenever I have a spare time, I like writing a lot.
Wow.
What else can I say? I think, that's enough, right?
I think you made like a statement already, so guys, like I always say, you're getting the best of the best of the best. So if you have questions, send them through and we will, address them. And like you see, Christelle is very, very experienced, and she'll be able to, share her thoughts and help us out with whatever's on our hearts during this time. So,
by the way, I have over 20 years of experience, Wow. So feel free to ask questions.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So we are here to talk about personal development today. Before we kind of get into talking about how we can be developing ourselves during this time, which is obviously kind of the main part of this discussion, I wanted us to kind of deal with the whole idea of personal development, because I feel like a lot of people, use the term personal development. We hear the term personal development all the time, and it's like, okay, what is personal development? Why is everyone talking about personal development, and why is it important? That kind of thing. So from your perspective, what do you think personal development is, and why personal development? Why is it important for us to give attention to that?
Yeah, personal development, that's a very, very good question, because there's a lot of definition out there, but I will give you the definition that I have. To me, personal development is a discipline. You know what I mean? It's a discipline, and it's a discipline that focuses on three things. The first thing will be know better yourself. Know better yourself by valuing your talents, basically, your talents and your potential. The second thing is improving yourself. And then the third thing will be to make your dream come true. That will be the three things that will, I want you to remember when you talk about personal development. And that's, why it's so important, because a lot of people, know a lot of people, they know all these stars, all those movie stars, all those singers, all those, writers, and all those political, figures that we have out there, but they don't know themselves. Don't you think that is bizarre? You know all these people and you don't know yourself? Yeah. And then most of the people that I coach, most of the people that I talk to, whenever I go to conferences, I am so shocked to see that people don't know themselves. Yeah. And I will say that, tell me, that's something that I like to do with a lot of people. Tell me, what are your key strengths? And you will see that most of the people will spend weeks thinking about that before coming back to me. Yeah. They don't know. Yeah. And then
but they're not mindful of it.
Exactly. And then the funny thing is that, whenever they will give me the strength, most of the time they will tell me what they would like to be, not what they actually are. And then
Oh
when I
yeah.
say for people that I know well, I'm like, if I will give you one strength, that's not what I would, what I will say. I will say
Yeah.
this. And they're like, oh, but I do it naturally. I'm like, yeah. That's exactly it, because you
Yeah.
do it so naturally. It's a strength. Not
Yes.
everybody has the ability to do it naturally,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? So I think it's really important. It's really important to know yourself. And a lot of people lack confidence. And
Yeah.
how do you want to gain confidence if you don't know
Yeah.
yourself? You have
Yeah.
to appreciate yourself. You have to appreciate who you are. And then
Yeah.
in order to be able to appreciate who you are, you have to know
Know
yourself and you
yourself.
have to
Yeah.
love yourself.
Yeah.
It's important. You have to love yourself, guys.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. I 100% agree with you. And one of the things that we've been discussing over the weeks is being a person of value. Being a person of value, it is so so important for life. It's important in everything that you do. I think the first time we spoke about it was during our finance session. We were talking about, in order to maximize your income, in order to, like, make income or increase your income, you have to be a
Definitely.
person of value. Like,
Absolutely.
ultimately, we're here to, be valuable to other people. And
Absolutely.
the way that we get to that level is to develop ourselves, to work on ourselves,
Yeah.
to know ourselves, to,
Yeah.
explore our strengths and our weaknesses and build on our weaknesses. So definitely, definitely, definitely
Yeah.
agree with you on that. Ria
Yeah.
said being a person of value, love that. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
That is one
Yes.
thing that we 100% we've been, teaching during this time as well.
And let me
Yeah.
comment on that, because that's very important what you just said.
Yeah.
And you know that your talent will be your source of income.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody that you see out there, they have
Yeah.
one talent that is in action and that help them actually become who they are,
Yes.
and have a
Definitely.
source of income.
Yeah.
It's your talent that you put in the service of others. I
Yes.
like
Yes.
to tell everybody that I'm a servant leader.
Yes.
In order to know your talents, you have to know how they can serve people,
Yeah.
and then look for ways to gain income or to
Yeah.
provide income. But first of all, define your talents and look how they can serve others.
Yeah. Definitely. So my second question is, as a motivational speaker or an international speaker now, because we're international, like
Absolutely.
in the UK, but we talking to people in the UK.
Definitely.
So as a speaker, you often, like, talk to a lot of people, and I'm sure about personal development as well. So what are some of the things that you think that is very important that you kind of always mention when you speak to people?
And I think what's really important when I speak to people, because what I've found is that people are looking for joy. People are looking for being just, joyful, for being, really happy with their
Yeah, like
lives.
fulfillment. Yeah.
Fulfillment, exactly.
Yeah.
This is what they are looking for.
Yeah.
And what I tell them all the time is that you have to look for your purpose. And I think as a young people, or
Mm.
even, it doesn't matter the age, but
Age.
you
Yeah.
have to look for your purpose. And I
Yeah.
think because finding your purpose will bring you fulfillment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's important because we are living unprecedented time right now, unprecedented time right
Yeah.
now. And
Yeah.
take the time to find out your purpose, what you were
Yes.
created for. Spend the time to look out for it, reflect on your introspection, like spend time and look for it. And I think when you by looking at your purpose, you will also find out what are your talents, because this is the second thing that is really important. What are your talents? It's
Yeah.
important because it will help you bring confidence. And if
Yeah.
you are good at something, and I know that each one of us is good at something, there is
Yeah.
something that you can do better than anybody else.
Yes. Yes.
Better than
Definitely.
anybody else. You just have to
Definitely.
find out what it is,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you
Definitely.
are so good at it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
want you to just find that thing that you are so good at it. And
Yeah.
one thing, I will give you a clue, um, if you have people that are close to you, ask them, you know, when you look at me, what is the thing that you are so impressed by, you know, when you
Yeah.
look at me? You have to ask that question to people, and then they will tell you. They will tell
Yeah.
you what is the thing, you know, that impressed you the most. And another thing is that you have to look for things that you have passion for. You know, there are certain things that when you do, you kind of lose the sense of time. You don't even
Yeah.
see the time going. For me, for
Yeah.
instance, I like to write. You know, when I write, I'm
Yeah.
just, you know, I can write books, you know, like pages and pages and pages. I can just, you know, go
Just
outside and
lose
look at
yourself.
something. I'm just losing
Yeah.
myself, and it gives me so much inspiration, you know, and then I start writing. You know, I
Yeah.
like to talk as well. I like to help people out. I'm
Yeah.
somebody that really look out for people, help them, you know, find the purpose, help them,
Yeah.
you know, develop themselves. And you guys have to find it. And I think really this is the time that you know, if you go to school, you know, it's good to go to school. It's
Yeah.
very good. It's very important, because tomorrow is the thing that will help you build your leadership, build your experience. And this is how people will recognize you in the world. That's how the world works. So you
Yeah.
have to go to school.
Yeah.
But while you go to school, also look out for your purpose, because your
Yeah.
purpose is really important. This is basically what you will get fulfilled, like Shanika said.
Yeah, 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 definitely. I think just a heads up, guys. Okay, me and Christelle, like, we share the same, you know, views. So you're gonna hear me say I 100% agree, like, a lot of times. So just sit back. So just to say, I'm just saying that to say I 100% agree with you. The importance of purpose, like, so
Mm,
important.
mm,
So important. And again, that's one of the things that we really, 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 you know, share, we really talk about, we really hold like dear to our hearts, you know, at the Young Achievers Group, that we believe that every single individual has been put on this earth here for a reason, and
absolutely.
our job is to find that thing and live
Yeah,
out, and live
definitely.
out. Yeah,
Definitely.
so I 100% agree with you. I know that during this time right now, you know, some people, they are not working,
Yeah.
and you know, maybe for those people, they were kind of like, you know, finding fulfillment in their jobs, but now that they don't have their jobs, they kind of feel lost.
Yeah.
But with purpose, like, it doesn't matter what the situation is. Like, if you can't go outside, you find a way
Yeah.
to, you know, express that
Mm,
that thing that has been, you know, laid on your heart, that thing that you're very passionate about. So I 100% agree with you that
mm,
finding your purpose is definitely key, especially
mm.
when it comes to personal development. Because what are you developing yourself to do if you don't
Yeah.
know what your purpose is?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to serve someone with, you
Exactly.
know, what are you going to serve them with?
Yeah.
So yeah, I 100% agree with you
Yeah.
on that.
And
Yeah.
let me comment on one thing that you said. It's really important, because we are living in a world, things will change. I don't know if you guys, if you look at, you know, the way things are changing
Right now.
during this crisis. I mean, we are shifting to a new era, because tomorrow people are going to be working more and more from home. There will be remote working. Everything is going to be online. Most of the things, you know. So I think we also have to find a way to reinvent ourselves. I
Yeah.
tell that to my people all the time. We have to find ways to
Reinvent.
reinvent
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Hmm.
And I've seen that people are so attached to their work, to their job. You know, we are not living in the time of our parents. They
Hmm.
were just staying at one job for, like, you know, many, many, many years.
Yeah.
But now, tomorrow, maybe people are going to be replaced by machines, you know. So
Hmm.
you have to have another source of income. It's really important. You cannot just rely on one job. You have to. That's the reason why discovering your talent is so important, because you can work at something that you are good at, that you are passionate about. And when you're passionate about something, you don't even feel like working. It's so, you know, enjoyable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
imagine if you can make an income out of it.
Yeah.
You know, you won't be
Definitely.
stuck to one job. You know,
Yeah.
whenever something, you know, just goes wrong to one thing,
Yeah.
you
You
also
have
have
something
another
to fall back
thing.
on. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to reinvent yourself, guys.
Yes.
Reinvent yourself. Look for ways to reinvent yourself. You
Yeah.
have to be pioneers. You know what I mean? You
Yes.
just don't have to just, you know, wait for things to happen to you. but you have to be in charge. And then being in
definitely.
charge, it's anticipation. You have to anticipate as much as you can. It's really important. That's what I wanted to comment on what you said. Sorry.
Definitely. No, that's fine. Thank you so much for that. So now that we've kind of like explained, like, you know, personal development and like, you know, the importance and like things attached to it. Now for the big question, how can we be, you know, developing ourselves during this time? Like, what can we be doing to develop ourselves during this time?
I think it's a broad question, you know. It's a broad question because it really depends on where people are at this point of their lives, you know. But I will answer this question anyways because I think that it really depends on the objectives that you have. So if you have objectives, that's really good. I would say that just work on your objectives, and if you don't, you have to start by, you know, saying to yourself, what is it that I want to accomplish this year? What is it that I want to accomplish this month? What is it that I want to accomplish this week? What is it that I want to accomplish today? So you have to start and then start working on it. You know what I mean? Like, start today. Start with what you have. Start where you are and do what you can. It's really important. It's very, very important, guys. And some people, you know, want to wait for everything to be perfect to start. It doesn't have to be perfect to start. You can start. You know, whether it's the book that you want to write, just write one sentence. One sentence a day. You will make it. I'm sure you will make it, because at some point, you know, you'll write one sentence and then the day after 2 sentences, and then you're like, maybe I can start with 2 sentences a day. And then maybe I can start with, I don't know, a big chunk of paragraph a day.
Like a paragraph, and then,
all of a sudden you will write a page, and then you will write 12 pages, you know, before you know it, you will write your book. And I don't know if it's sports that you will start, you know, just start with 1 push-up a day. And then it's going to be 2 push-ups, 50 push-ups, whatever you can, just start it. And if you want to do something and then you don't have competencies, you know, what I say to people is build your competencies, you know. I don't know, maybe some people want to learn another language, you know, because they want to have international impact, and then they want to learn Spanish, for instance. Start. There's a lot of online classes, you know. Start.
Definitely.
And if you don't have money is not a barrier, you know. Go to YouTube.
There's
find Spanish classes. I don't know. Start, guys. Start where you are. Do what you can, and whatever you do, just move, move, and move.
100%. Okay, so there's a question on here. I don't want it to go up. So, Elimski asked, passionate people can be too critical of themselves and their visions. Do you have any tips or advice on how to stop judging yourself?
Oh my God, that's really interesting. That's interesting because when I listen to that question, I'm kind of like thinking about myself, because I am so, harsh on myself sometimes. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, because it helped me, it pushed me through, my dreams, and it helps me become better and better. And that's how I strive to excellence, But at some point, you also have to take a step back and look at what you have accomplished and just be grateful of where you are. It's really important, just spend some time and look at everything you've done and say, hey, I've come a long way. Just remember where you were before, and then that will make you appreciate where you are. But it's not a bad thing to be hard on yourself, because I think it will bring excellence out of it. That's how I always bring excellence out of me, because I never consider that everything I've done is perfect. I always think that, there is a better way of doing it. But at some point, I know how to be like, okay, this is good enough.
There's always room for improvement.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's always room for, I don't know, I feel like there's a saying that, you're your worst critique. Sorry, I can't say the word properly. And I'm just like, okay, I do get that, because I do that to myself a lot. I don't know necessarily about judging yourself. I feel like that's like a different level. What do you think?
Judging yourself, it's not I don't think it's the right way of putting it, but I kind of understood that what she wanted to say is that she's so hard on herself that,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
wants to be better. But I think,
Yeah.
you will get better because, you know, at the point where you are, when you look at everything that you've done so far, just take a step back and say, hey, I've come a long way. And then, continue to study to become better and better and be the best in
Yeah.
your area. Be
Yeah.
the best. I would encourage each one of you to be the best. So that people, when they look at you, they know that it's you. You are the best. So, continue to study, continue to work hard to be
Yeah.
where I am today. I'm going to write a post on it. I work, on average, 12 to 14 hours a day.
Wow.
So, success doesn't come overnight.
Yeah.
It's a discipline. It's a sum of little actions that you do
That, yeah,
repeatedly
contribute. Yeah.
every
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
day.
They
So
do.
you really, really, really have to work on yourself and work
Yeah.
hard, and you
Yeah.
will make it. You will make
Yeah.
it.
Definitely. Definitely.
Because the
Yeah.
only, what I always say to people is the only place where I found that abundance comes
Yeah.
before work is on the dictionary. But in real life, you will have to work before you get to abundance, before you get to success and stuff.
That's a good one. In the dictionary.
In the dictionary, that's
Yeah,
the
which is
only
in
way where you
alphabetical
will find
order.
it. Yeah.
That's that's interesting. Thank
Yeah.
you so much
Even
for that.
success,
Yeah.
success comes before work, only in the dictionary.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Said what I needed to hear. Thank you. You're most welcome. So someone's asking about purpose. How can we discover a purpose?
Yeah, I think discovering a purpose, it's a long journey. And one of the things that will help you discover your purpose, like I was saying earlier, is discovering your talents. You are gifted in some areas. You are gifted in some. There are things that you do better than everybody
Then,
else.
yeah.
Sorry, my son is just yelling out there.
No,
I'm
that's fine.
sorry for the background noise.
That's okay.
But there are things that you guys are really good at. And what I was saying is that um, ask people that know you better. What are the things that impress you the most when you deal
Yeah.
with me? The second thing, what are you passionate about? What are the things that when you do, you lose the sense of time? You are just so into it that, you will never, never leave that place or
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah.
This is an indicator of your purpose.
Yeah.
Those are the two things,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Agree. Yeah. And I think another thing that I realize as well, if you're an emotional person, okay, what kind of what thing is it that when you see it, it kind of just gets to you? Like, let me give an example. I was with my godmother some time ago, and she was doing her daughter's hair, and I was like, oh no, like, don't do it that way, like, I don't like the way you're doing it, and like, I just wanted to, like, do it like in a specific way, because like I like hair, and like I like to see it done in a specific way. So I
Exactly.
know that doing hair is something that I'm passionate about.
Mm.
And that's what's it called, that's one way of identifying your purpose. Another thing is what angers you. What is it that you see? I remember listening to one of my friends talking. She's a social worker. She said that every time she saw children that were really sad, or like they were just in a disadvantaged position, she would always cry. And it was just like, okay, like, why are they in that situation? Like, she'd just be so upset about it. And so that kind of helped her to understand that that's the field that she needs to go into. She needs to work with children. She needs to help provide a solution for children that are in those situations. So what things like really get your emotions working? What makes you excited? What makes you angry?
Mm.
What are you passionate about, like Christelle said? So
Yeah.
those are some of the things that I would say. There's other things as well, but I think we're most focusing on personal development. So maybe we
Yeah.
can address purpose in a different live.
And
Okay,
I
cool.
100% agree with you, because I remember when I was younger, when I was seeing on TV, Angelina Jolie working around the world and doing those humanitarian work, I will
Yeah.
cry. I was like, what's going on? Like I felt so attracted to those type of things. You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
years later, I found out this is one of the things that I was called to do, and
Yeah.
those are the things that we're doing with the NGO, that I'm actually leading. I'm the president of that NGO. So,
Wow.
so when I would look at
Wow.
her,
Can
I
we
would
just,
look at Rihanna.
the
I would look at
president? Wow.
Rihanna doing all those
Yeah.
humanitarian. It's not because she was singing, because she was singing. I wouldn't be like, that tuned or that moved. But when she would go to Africa with all those kids,
Yeah.
doing all those humanitarian
Make
work,
an impact.
I
Yeah.
will cry like
Yeah.
so much. And I was like, what's going on? So all my friends were like, oh my God. So when they look at me today, they were like, wow, you are doing exactly what you always said you were going to be doing. So look for things when you were younger, when
Yeah.
you knew that, and sometimes the life makes you forget everything when you were younger that you really like. You
Mm,
have to do an introspection and kind of think back when you were younger. Those
yeah.
are the things that you were attracted to,
Yeah.
and start thinking
So
about it.
numbers. Yeah. I agree. So another question, more personal to you. How do you sort of balance working 12 to 14 hours with, 4 boys? I can imagine, like, I think at the beginning you spoke about the fact that personal development for you is a discipline. And I guess
Yeah.
this is where it kind of comes in. So how do you do that?
That's a very good question. And you know that most of the people, when they deal with me, they always ask me this question. And I think to be able to answer that question, I had to like take a step back and realize that it's not something that is given to everyone, because I thought it was natural. Like I was saying, sometimes you do stuff and then you're like, okay, but
Oh,
that's
yeah.
normal,
You can do it
but
too. Like,
no,
yeah.
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 But and when people started asking me that question, I kind of, took a step back and say, hey, wow, I'm really grateful, to be able to deal with everything. But one of the key will be discipline. It always comes back to discipline, because, people can give you motivation, but the discipline will help you keep on doing it and keep on doing it over and over again,
Yeah.
and will help you to have an impact.
Yeah.
And the discipline, comes with planification. So my life is to really, really on the planning, you know.
Wow.
So when I wake up in the morning, I always know, what my priorities are for today.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, also kind of teach that to my son as well. We have a planning, also they're planning, because I want them to be autonomous,
Yeah.
and I'm saying, okay, guys, here is what you have to do
Today. Yeah.
today. So in the morning we take, our breakfast together, and then after that everybody start working, and then I have my little one, 11 months old. He's really autonomous. Whenever he eats, he can play around, and then I
Yeah.
can start working. I'm doing my usual work, because I'm actually also working remotely, working
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
home,
Working
and
from
then I
home.
have all this other stuff. It's usually at night that I start doing. So I really sleep not a lot, but I'm kind of used to it. So I wake up early in the morning, I sleep late at night, and that's what's helped me. So like I always say to my people, I do not stop because I'm tired. I stop when I'm finished, when I'm done.
Wow. I think that's powerful. Honestly, yeah, that's really something. That's really encouraging to hear, because sometimes it can get really, really, really hard. But when obviously we have people like you that are like, going full force, like, always working nonstop. And even you have a reason to relax. Like, you have 4 boys, but you're not stopping there. Like, you're not
No,
allowing that to, like, slow
no,
you down, like slow your progress down. So that's
no.
amazing. I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
So wow.
and one thing also, because having kids is a responsibility, and I have
Yes.
boys
A
and
huge
girls. It's
responsibility.
a huge responsibility,
Yes.
whether it's boys, whether it's girls.
Yes.
um you have to, if you want your children to become what you want, you have to be what you want them to become.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah.
very important. So we one thing that will teach my children. I'm saying that, whenever I'm not going to be there tomorrow, I want you to know that work will pay off. So you have to work, guys. We have to work. I mean, like, this is not the time where we can just sit back
Sit back.
and relax. This
Yeah.
is the time of acceleration.
100%.
If you know what are going on right now in the world, you have to accelerate on whatever you are doing. Acceleration.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad to see young people like Shanika, doing this,
Yeah.
providing you guys with that platform to help you
Yeah.
grow.
Yeah.
That many young people that will just, share things that will not build up,
Yeah. Yeah.
your potential and stuff. But she actually provide you with the tools, a platform to help you guys grow.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I like seeing young people like her, impacting her generation like she's doing. She's
Yeah.
writing, and I know you will be doing it as well.
Yeah,
You will
definitely.
write your
Yeah.
own story. You will
And
be
I
the
guess that's why we
hero
have these
of your
people
story.
online.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I think, with these things you don't really get too upset like when you don't like get high numbers like compared to maybe something else that's fun, because it's really the people that want to take their lives to the next level that
Absolutely.
take the time out to actually invest. And obviously this is a part of like personal development as well, like educating yourself, like engaging in things that was going to benefit you, engaging in things of value. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. I 100% agree. Okay, wonderful. I think we'll take the final question and then we kind of conclude everything.
Okay.
So, how does someone who is lost find him or herself find themselves? Especially during this time. I think I mentioned at the beginning, like for example, someone that may have been working and found fulfillment in their job, or like thought like, oh, this is my job, like was so happy about their job, but obviously now they don't have their job that they're doing, and they may feel lost. Or maybe someone during this time is just not being able to go out, is just not sitting well with them, and they're just feeling lost. So how can those people find themselves during this time?
I think it's a broad question as well. So I will ask that person to say, why do you feel lost at this moment? Sometimes you have to be careful about what you feed your mind with. Okay. So is it because you are watching too much TV that, you kind of feeling
Or too
lost
much
because
news?
too much news,
Yeah.
exactly, news on TV, and then all of a sudden you kind of felt, you feel lost because of everything that you're hearing. So
Yeah.
you have to be careful about what you're feeding your mind with.
Yeah.
So that will be my advice. Careful. Are you feeling lost because, I don't know, you have I don't know, something that is bothering you? You have to look for what is it that are making you feel lost. It's not because there is a situation right now that it means that it will be a forever. Maybe it can be
Yeah.
temporary. You
Yeah.
have to take yourself to be in charge of yourself,
Yeah.
and get yourself together and start thinking about how you can get out of this. I want you to build a mindset of winner.
Yeah.
Winners do not
Yeah.
sit down and say, "How I'm lost." They never say that. They
Yeah.
say, "I'm going to get through this." You
Yeah.
have to change your
Yeah.
mindset,
Yeah.
change your mentality,
So
change the
important.
way you speak. I
So
don't want you
important.
to say, "I'm lost." You
Yeah.
have to really remove those words from yourself. You can be going to tough
Yeah.
moments right now, to
Yeah.
tough difficulties or tough situation, but what you should say is, how is this situation
Yeah.
it's gonna bring me to the next level?
Yeah.
What is it that I'm learning to this situation?
Yeah.
How I can get better to this?
Yeah.
What experience I can gain from it to be able to teach other people that will go to the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
are not lost. Everything we said that you were created for a purpose, so
Yeah.
everything that happens is for a purpose.
For
You have to beat yourself. You guys are going to be the leaders of tomorrow. As a leader, you have to show to people your scars. Your scars, like all the scars that you have.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really
Like
important,
battle
and this is
scars.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
battle scars, exactly. And that's what bring your credibility. People will feel connected because you have these scars, because you have a history, you have a story, not history, but a story to tell. A lot of people, they go out there, they are speakers because they've written or they've read stuff in the books. But you have your experience. You have to value that experience that you have, because this is how you will connect to people. When you talk to people, it will feel real, because it's something that you've lived, that you're telling them. It's not something that you've read on books. Everybody can go through a book, read it, and then start teaching it. The difference with good leaders and great leaders are leaders, that actually live what they tell and live what they teach.
Yes, and I think that's why it's something that starts from within, isn't it? It's just how do I even communicate it? It's something that starts from deep within you, that you just begin to live out. So no matter what time of the night someone may wake you up, you'll be able to confess that thing, and for that. So 100% agree. So we're coming towards the end. And honestly, it's really been amazing speaking to you and having you on our platform. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry, yeah. So what are some of your kind of concluding thoughts? So maybe like your top 3 takeaway in summary on personal development for maybe someone that wasn't here from the beginning. So just like 3 points to like summarize everything that we discussed.
Before that, I'd like to thank everyone that has been here, tonight. So you guys have been amazing. Thank you, Shinika. This has been really great. I really enjoyed it. And I think that going back to your question, I want you to have 3 takeaways. During this time, you have to know yourself better, because that's the key. You have to know yourself better, identify your potential and your talents. The second thing, you have to do everything you can to improve your life. And then the third thing, you have to work on making your dreams come true.
Wonderful.
Those are the 3 things.
Know yourself better.
Yeah.
The second thing.
Yes. Know yourself better by identifying your talents and your potential. The second thing is working on improving your life. You have to make your life better. And then the third thing is do whatever you can to make your dream come true. Whether it's objectives that you need to write to help you get going, you have to get going to keep moving towards the making your dream a reality.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Christelle.
No problem. It was a pleasure.
You're amazing. Honestly, I'm gonna come to France after the lockdown.
Please. Have a coffee. Please be my guest. Come. After the lockdown, I'll be happy to have you over. I introduce you to my boys.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Christelle. Thank you so much for being here with us, and we'll be in touch soon.
Okay, take care, guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye. We love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye. Wonderful. Okay, that was Christelle. I hope you guys, were able to take some things away. I know we spoke a lot and we said a lot of things. I think just some key things that I wanted to kind of bring our attention to, or just focus on as we're about to wrap up in terms of personal development. I think as Christelle mentioned, that it's so important to know yourself. It is so important to know yourself. It's very important to take that time to go on that a journey of self-discovery. Because if you don't know yourself, if you don't know what you're supposed to do, what are you developing? What are you developing? What are you personally developing? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it is so important to go on that journey of self-discovery and discover yourself. And whilst you're doing that, discover your purpose. We spoke about how important your purpose is, and I think it's important to say that your purpose is not for you as an individual. Yes, it benefits you, but it's something that you're going to do to add value to other people. That is essentially what your purpose is. Whatever it is that you're going to do, whatever it is that you're supposed to do, it essentially adds value to other people. We're here to serve each other. You know, some people may be talented at different things, and essentially, you know, we can both serve each other. We can both serve each other with our different skills and talents. And that's essentially what we are here to do. So discover your purpose, discover your purpose. I mean, that is one of the things that we do here at the Young Achievers Group. We provide mentorship and coaching and, you know, all these kind of things to help you to discover yourself, to discover your purpose, to discover your skills, your talents, and those things that you need to live a fulfilled life. I think we might actually, you know, have a session on purpose, because it's just so broad. We can spend so long talking about it, and I think we might actually get into that in another live. And in terms of personal development, if you're someone that has already, you know, discovered your purpose and, like, you know, maybe you need guidance on how to live it out, one thing that Christelle said that she does is she plans. Like, she's always anticipating her next move. So it's really, really, really important to plan ahead and prioritize and be disciplined enough to stick to your plan. So that's more or less everything. I haven't received any more questions, so I'm assuming that you guys are satisfied and happy with everything that we've shared. I just want to appreciate you guys once more. Thank you guys so much for being here with us, for joining our lives. Okay, let me do some shout outs of our people that are here all the time. So there's Michelle, to Grace, Tammy, Cherry. Okay, I can't say the username, but anyway, you know who you are. Thank you guys so much for being here with us, and we really, really appreciate you. And, you know, drop us a DM if you have any more questions, especially about maybe mentorship or coaching programs or anything like that, and we'll be more than happy to, you know, assist and, like, you know, help you guys out with whatever it is that you may have to ask. So yeah, so that's more or less everything from us. I hope you guys have a good week, and remember to just focus on the things that you want to be more dominant in your life. Focus on your dreams, focus on things that's important to you. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and as usual, I'm gonna wait for you guys to say bye. Have a good week, everyone. Bye. See you guys. Bye. Bye. Let me just wait. Instagram is very rude to be delaying the comments. Thank you. Bye. Bye to Grace. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Okay, I think that's okay. Thank you guys, and see you guys next week. Bye.